He leads us all the way, playing proper football, the Sheff United way. Ale, ale, ale. Ale, ale, ale. Ale, ale, ale.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheff United way. Hope you're all doing well out there. Let's not panic, okay? We're still second in the championship. I was worried about Burnley more than Leeds. And look what's happened. Burnley have gone top of the championship today. Obviously, the Blades have lost at Oxford United today. I've been at the game. That's why this stream is coming so late to you in the evening. Get your comments in now as much as you can. I'll pop them on screen as we go. I set off. I'll tell you about my day. You might not care, but I'll tell you about my day anyway. So I set off at 8:30 this morning. My mate who was driving lives in Gainsborough. So I set off on the Woodhouse train to get to Retford. He picked me up from Retford. We drove from Retford all the way to Oxford. Then on the way back, we got stuck in the car park for what seemed forever. So we went and had a romantic meal at Frankie and Benny's, had another pint. Well, I did, he didn't. Waited for it all to clear, and we've come on his way back. I got the train from Retford about an hour ago, and then that was half an hour to Woodhouse, and then another practically half an hour to try and sort an Uber out to get home. So yeah, it's been a really, really long day. I've been out for probably about 14 hours, something like that. So I know how to pick them. I just know how to pick these games. And yeah, it's another one to tick off, though. I've never been to the Kazam Stadium before. Three-sided stadium. I didn't even realize that was what it was until I was upon it. And it just felt so weird how open it was. And I've already seen on Facebook that there's a Sheff United fan that was sat on the coach, top of the coach, watching the game. I don't even know how I missed that because we were right to the side of it. And it's like, I feel like I would have seen that bloke, but I didn't. Anyway, let's move on into talking about this game. So yeah, not the best in all honesty. By the way, I need to keep checking because this is a brand new microphone and it's touch sensitive on the top. So I've already muted myself once by accident just before we started. So apologies if at any time in this live stream I mute. It's not my fault. Well, it probably is my fault, but I've not done it on purpose. So let's get into talking about the game. So Chris Wilder went with the exact same team. That's a Chris Wilder thing to do. The exact same team, which a lot of people agree with. Never change a winning side. And in all honesty, I'd have probably gone with the exact same side as well. I went for that, and my fan hub got 11 out of 11 because I just expected that would be the case. I feel like after today's defeat, we may need to start mixing it up a little bit more like we did previously. I don't know whether legs were tired or whether it was just the fact that we didn't play particularly well in the first half. Obviously, they got their goal, and then we just couldn't break them down. I think that might be the case. We need to be better in those situations. Leeds proved that they struggle with the same thing. But yeah, both teams, Sheffield United and Leeds, both need to be better at breaking teams down. And yeah, we really, really struggled today, in my opinion, to break them down. We had quite a few shots, quite a few from long range, not really anything clear cut. But we'll get into talking about the game as a whole and obviously the individual chances and things like that. I'm just going to quickly look at the stats because I've not looked at the stats yet, in all honesty. We had slightly better expected goals. I don't know how, because Dembele was literally right in front of goal to finish that one off against Cooper. I think that just proves as well that they didn't really offer much going forward. They had 3 shots on target. They must have all been from distance other than the goal. 9 shots altogether. We had 15 altogether, 4 on target. I think a lot of them probably came in the second half. We apparently spent 2 big chances. They had 1, which must have been the goal again. The Blades had The Blades completed 380 passes to their 97. I think that shows that we had a lot of this game. Possession stats also suggest the same, 73% ball possession for the Blades. And I think we all know that when Sheffield United have a lot of the ball, it doesn't come to fruition quite often, the goals. And that's really frustrating because we've got some fantastic players on the pitch and on the bench too. We're not actually struggling with a lot of injuries right now, touch wood. And that's what's really frustrating because we need to be scoring more goals and creating better chances. Gus should be creating more chances. Brereton Diaz should be creating more chances. The team as a whole need to be creating more chances, whether that's from the left back, the right back, the central midfielders, the attackers, the wide players. They need to be creating more chances and taking those chances. Today, I felt like we only had one really, really big chance, and that was Tyrese Campbell in the first half. But we'll get there. The first one that I really remember was Burrows having a shot from a bit of an acute angle. Keeper more than equal to it. Great save. I think it kind of went straight at him. Then this Campbell chance happens. Ben Brereton Diaz down the right hand side. He's dillying and dallying. I just want him to go at him. I just want him to go at the defender like Raksaki would. Just go at him. And he waits and waits and waits, but he finds a really good ball inside to Campbell, who kind of takes it on the thigh, kind of swivels on it. It bounces up, and he just has a go. It's a great effort with a lot of power on it. It's just very central, and the goalkeeper makes a really smart save with his foot, and he just kind of diverts it round the corner. It's a really good save from the goalkeeper, and that's for me was our big, not necessarily our biggest chance, but our best effort on goal. And if that would have gone a tiny bit to the left or to Tyrese Campbell's left, that would have ended up in the back of the net. And it's just one of those things. Obviously, Tyrese Campbell quite often finishes his chances. So, we want to see stuff like that fly in the back of the net. It's got to in this running, because if it doesn't, we're going to end up on the wrong side of results like we did tonight. And then the goal comes, and it's really poor. It's schoolboy defending. Some of my Leeds mates were messaging me and saying, yeah, we were bad today, but that is a schoolboy mistake from the defence. And it's not just from one person. It's from everyone, really, because the long throw comes in. Vokes was getting absolutely hammered from our side, from the fans nearest to him. And when they scored after the throw-in, he turned around and gave it some to the fans, which I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, because when United fans were giving him a load of abuse, I think he walked over and did that. And that's what you like to see, stuff like that. Stuff like that's fun. By the way, to those that are listening to this, I just did a heart emoji with my hands, or heart sort of hand gesture with my hands. And I like to see stuff like that, especially from former Wednesday players. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? But he launches this ball into the box. Quite a few long throws came into the box from Vokes. It's tried to be flicked on by an Oxford player, and he sort of heads it miles up in the air. And Anel's got his eyes on this. Anel's heading this away for days. And then Sariki kind of just comes across him. And I don't know whether Anel just kind of leaves it to him, or Anel tries to go for it and Sariki's in his way. But I think both of them kind of miss it. Or does Anel flick it on? I'm trying to remember back now. I think Anel kind of flicks it on. And it ends up at the feet of Sariki Dembele. Tyrese Campbell is supposed to be marking him, kind of lets him go, and he puts it in the back of the net. Now, I'm never a fan of strikers and very attack-minded players defending in the box against really, really dangerous players, because we've seen it time and time again when, I think it was the one that kind of springs to mind is when we played against Leeds and Firpo was being marked by Brereton Diaz, and then he just kind of ghosts in and heads it in the back of the net, and Brereton Diaz just can't react. This is a similar thing here. Campbell's not got him, then he's got him, and then he takes his eye off the ball for a second and Sariki's away and finishes it easily. And he kind of sits Cooper down on his backside because he looks like he's going to put it in the front post and then opens his body up and pushes it past him the other way. It's a good finish. It's a very good finish. But it's very, very bad defending, in my opinion. It's really, really poor defending. Then still in the first half, Peck gets away on the angle. Instead of trying to find a cross, he has a go at goal, front post. It's a good strike, keeper equal to it, pushes it away. Very smart stop by the goalkeeper. And that takes us into half time. And there were no boos from the United fans, but it was just kind of a bit like, this has been a bit rubbish, hasn't it? We've not really created too much clear-cut opportunities. Obviously, I've mentioned a few in there. I've not really mentioned many Oxford chances because I don't really remember many Oxford chances, but that's kind of life, isn't it? You kind of look at your own team and remember what you want to remember. But it's a very, very, I'd say even first half, in my opinion. Not sure what the stats suggest. First half, 69% ball possession from us, but we only created 0.19 xg, whereas they created 0.96, which is the goal. So clearly, we've got a lot of the ball. We're just not doing enough with it. 3 shots on target for both, and the fact that we only created 0.19 xg with 3 shots on target. I think they're all the ones that I mentioned: the Burrows one, the Campbell one, and the Peck one. That's 3 shots on target, but none of them. Well, the other 2, not the Campbell one, obviously. The other 2, I think the goalkeeper was more than equal to, and he should really be saving those. So we're going to half time, and it's a bit underwhelming. Like, I'm expecting more from this Blade side, especially the fact that Oxford came to Bramall Lane and they were by far the worst team I've seen at Bramall Lane this season, if not for quite a few seasons, because they were so open. We beat them 3-0 and it could have been 5-6, 7-0. Today, they defended very, very well, very compact. And as soon as they scored, that was it. They were sitting in and they were happy with what they got. And they probably thought, we can hold out. We can hold out this Sheff United team. That's absolutely fine. And they did. And they clearly did. It was a poor showing from the Blades. We go into the second half. We make some substitutions. Vinny Souza comes on. Jezza and Raksaki comes on for, I believe it was Chowdhury. And let me have a look just to make sure I've got it right. Chowdhury and Brereton Diaz. Like, I didn't want Brereton Diaz to come off. I don't think it was his best game. Well, it certainly wasn't his best game. I didn't want him to come off, though. I wanted to see Brereton Diaz get a bit more game time, a bit more time to try and see if he can find that goal or that killer pass or that killer cross. A lot of crosses today, though, from both sides were just kind of hopeful lumps into the box that they were just heading away for fun. And that's not what you want to see, really. You don't want to see that. And it's kind of going back to years gone by when we played 5-3-2 and, after the Blades had that fantastic run to the Premier League and then it kind of faltered a little bit, we ended up just lumping balls into the box. And it felt like that a little bit today. But when Vinny came on and when Raksaki came on, it felt like there was a little bit more, let's move this ball quicker. And Vinny seems to be the one that instigated that for me. Made a couple of little mistakes, but it's expected. I heard someone say in the crowd, "What's up with Vinny? Like, what's wrong with him?" And I'm like, well, he's been out for quite a while now. Vinny Souza has not played a game for, let me have a little look, because it's a while. It's a long old while. Vinny Souza has not played a game for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he's not played a game for 5 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, he's only missed 3 matches. But he'd obviously came off against Preston. That's not as much as what I think, but I think it's because of that international break as well, where we kind of had 2 weeks. So he's probably been out for maybe a month, maybe a little bit more. And that's when, you're injured for that amount of time. You just need a little bit of time to get sort of reacquainted with the team, get your fitness back a little bit. And he definitely drove us forward. He definitely got us moving. It's not a lot came of it, in all honesty. Then we've got so we start in the second half with a really good effort from Siddy Peck from distance. He's driving towards the 18-yard box. He hits a shot, a bit of a grass cutter, a bit of a daisy cutter, but it looks like it's nestling in that bottom corner from where I'm sat, and it just goes wide of the target. I think the keeper might have had it covered, but I thought it was in. It was a really good shot. Then we've got a long throw into the box from Jack Robinson. A lot of these went flying into the box. The keeper caught a couple. He really could have done better with some of these throws, but some of them caused them no end of problems. And one comes into the box. NL heads it on, but Jezeren Raksake just gets it kind of caught under his feet. He just can't. I don't know what happens here, because it looks like he's just about to tap it in. It's a great flick on by NL. And it just doesn't sit right for him. Then it's behind him, and he's having to chase for it, and he gets cleared, which was really unfortunate for Raksaki, because that would have been his chance to get back into the team, because I think he did quite well when he came on, and we really needed him down that right-hand side, because Sariki looked shattered, absolutely shattered. So obviously Jezren Raksaki kind of tried to help him out a little bit, tried to, offer that left foot, coming in on your left, and Sariki going round the outside on his right. But I think once Raksaki came on, Sariki were like, I don't need to do as much attacking now, because he was absolutely shattered. I want to talk about one where the ball got lumped into the box. Kiefer Moore flicks the ball down for Tom Cannon. Tom Cannon, this could be his moment. This could get him into the side finally. He has an effort. He's very well blocked by the Oxford defender. And then his second attempt, it kind of falls away from him, and he lays it back out to Sariki, and the cross is eventually blocked. Another really poor cross from one of the fullbacks. But yeah, that's another one that was really well blocked. Looked like it was destined for the bottom corner, but got blocked. There was a Rian Brewster one earlier on where he fired it over the bar that he just needed to have a bit more composure and play someone in rather than firing it over the bar from distance. And that's really all we offered. They sat in well. They defended really well. But we need to have more. We need to create more chances. And when we create those chances, we need to be putting them away. No disrespect to Oxford at all, because Oxford played really well. But we've gone to and beaten better teams than Oxford this season. So I think it was down to the fact that Oxford defended really well, got that goal, which is the big thing. And that's down to putting the ball into the box and causing confusion, because that's what it was really. A long ball into the box, a flick up in the air, and then just us not dealing with it. And it just landed to their player to side foot it in the corner. They got that goal, they got in front, and then they held on to it. And we've done that so many times this season. And we've defended like Oxford a lot this season away from home. So I can't really say anything other than fair play to Oxford for winning a hard-fought game. We didn't really do ourselves justice, but I don't want to take anything away from Oxford, because I thought they played really well today. All I can really say is I hope that was our Villa 3-3 moment, because they need a wake-up call today. And I'm not getting on the back. I'm really not, because we've done fantastically well to just put ourselves in the conversation with Burnley and with Leeds. Leeds possibly should have ran away with this title a long time ago, even before they beat us and beat Sunderland. They probably should have been far and away gone. But obviously Eli Mellier's thrown a couple into his own net and kept us at touching distance, and now they're third in the table. We need to take advantage of this. We've obviously thrown one away today. We've not put enough effort in for whatever reason. I don't know whether it's tired legs, playing the same playing the same personnel. Maybe it needs a freshen up, as I mentioned earlier on. It just wasn't good enough today. Wilder will know that. The players will know that. And right at the end, when we're all clapping them off, somebody was having a go at one of the players. I think it was Gus. And, well, it was having a go at the players. And Gus didn't take too kindly to it. And I think it was Vinny Souza that kind of pulled him away. But as they always do, the players came over, gave the away support a big old cheer. Thank you for all your for what you did for us today. It felt a bit subdued in the away end. It felt like we were just expecting us to score a goal and inevitably win this game. It's never a given in this division. It's never a given that you're going to come back from 1-0 down, especially away from home. And we probably should have got behind them a little bit more, in all honesty. I think the crowd were very, very quiet. And then there was some boos at the end from some of the United faithful. It's just one of those days. Again, as I said right at the start of the beginning of this video, let's not panic. We're still second in the league. Yes, we've got to go to Burnley, and that's not going to be an easy place to go to, because I had a feeling that Coventry were going to beat, or at least get a point from Burnley today, which obviously would have meant that they would have dropped 2 points. Wasn't to be. Obviously, Coventry went up 1-0 really, really early on, and then Burnley turned it around, and that's what really good teams do. And Burnley are a very, very good team. And in the last few weeks, I've been looking at their scores, thinking they're doing the business slowly but surely, and they're doing very, very good business as well. Clearly, that's another. I think that's 4 draws in a row for Leeds as well. So it's not it's not all doom and gloom. It's really not all doom and gloom. We need to turn, like, we drew against Bristol City, right? We conceded in the last minute of the game. Then we went to Hillsborough, the biggest game of the season for us, and we won that game. That's mentality monsters, as we've said on this channel before. This is what we need to do again. We've got Millwall at home. Now, that is a big game. It's a possibility that we may not win that game as well, because anybody can beat anyone in this division. However, Wilder will get them absolutely bang up for this game against Millwall. And we need to win that game. We are desperately in need of winning that game, because that's a big chance for 3 big points. Leeds are away at Middlesbrough. Leeds think they're going to go to Middlesbrough and turn them over. Now, Middlesbrough have been playing really well recently. So that could be Leeds dropping 2 points. That could be Leeds dropping 3 points. So we are desperate for these 3 points. We really are. I think we're now 1 point in front of Leeds. So if we can win and they don't, that could be 3 points in front. Now, I've been slaughtered on Twitter for saying ifs and buts and stuff like that. But you got to dream, haven't you? You got to dream. And if we can get that win against Millwall in midweek, it doesn't really matter what other teams do. Let's forget what Burnley are doing. Let's forget what Leeds are doing. I think we got a little bit carried away today, because obviously with them both playing early on, Leeds on the TV, it's easy to watch that and be thinking, this is fun watching Leeds drop points, but you've got to win your own games. And we certainly didn't do that today. So hopefully, like I said earlier, this is our 3-3, Villa 3-3 moment. And we galvanise after that game, and we get going again, because we can certainly win this. We can certainly win promotion. We may even win the title, but we need to get back to winning ways. We can't let this become a bit of a run like what's happened to Leeds. We need to get to Bramall Lane, get to work, maybe change personnel, because it's a team game at the end of the day. It's a squad game, and some of the players that we've got on the bench, Tom Cannon, Vinny Souza, Raksake, we've got some very good players. Kiefer Moore. Can I just say that I thought that Kiefer Moore was absolutely fantastic today. I don't think he necessarily needed to hold the ball up, because it looked like we were going long to him every time, and he won every single header. Not every single header is going to end up at the feet of one of our players, but he just won everything in the air. And that's all you can really ask for from Kiefer Moore in that situation, because they had so many bodies around him. If he'd have brought that down, tried to bring players into the game, it probably wouldn't have happened. So the fact that he just won everything in the air just gave us a little bit of a different outlet. And I just wanted to give him a bit of a shout out, because he deserved it today. When he came on for Tyrese Campbell, I was like, what are we doing here? Tyrese Campbell, our top goal scorer, scoring goals for fun. Why is he coming off? Well, I still believe that. Why bring Tyrese Campbell off with such a long period of the game left when we need a goal? I think it probably should have been Brewster coming off and playing more as high up as possible, and then him kind of laying the ball off to or bringing Tyrese Campbell into the game, who can then spread it out wide, get in the box. All I can think is Tyrese Campbell, Wilder's still managing his minutes, because Tyrese Campbell needs to be playing every single minute of every game for me. Especially make sure he scores his goals. If he scores his goals, then he can go off. But keep him on. Keep your strikers on who can score goals. That's what we need. And I know we've got a game midweek, so he's probably saving him for that. But we needed something from today, especially with what's happened with Burnley going top. Even if we'd have drawn today, Burnley still would have been top, but at least would have been, a little bit further away from Leeds if we'd have got that point. Right, let's get into some of the comments. From John Wallace, very leggy today and too many poor passes. Effort was there, just bad decisions in the final third. Regroup for the next game. Too right, John. We need to regroup, as I mentioned earlier. A very bad day at the office, says Gaza. I agree, mate. Steve Simpson, oh boy, what a mess up. Burnley will win this. I agree. I think they'll win. I said this a few games ago, that I think that if Leeds carry on how they're going, I think Burnley could win this title. And I still believe that. And I know that people will keep on, if Burnley next drop points and we win, then everyone will be like, oh, the Blades are going to win the league. If Leeds go and win 2 games in a row now, people say Leeds are going to win the league. It just depends what's going on. But I genuinely think that Burnley will win this division. And I think it's down to our consistency and Leeds's, likelihood to implode that will get us over the line. A bit of both, because I don't think that Sheffield United right now are good enough to go to Turf Moor, turn them over and just practically win all our games. I think we need a little bit of help from Leeds on this poor run at the moment. Cooler King, no need to panic, but the performance today is a cause for concern. I think you're right, but at the same time, we just need to go again, don't we? Go again. That's the great thing about Championship football. There's so many games coming. Ollie Burke, thick and fast. So it's good to see. We want it. We want another game. I want another game tomorrow. I just want us to put it right as quickly as possible. But at the same time, they probably need some time to reflect on what a poor performance that was today. And they'll be hurting. Wilder will be hurting. And I'm sure they'll come back fighting. Today was poor, but we all knew there would be slip-ups somewhere in the final 7. This was it. Wilder will use this to rally the troops and motivate squad for the remaining one. I think you're right, Alessandro. I do. I missed the first half, thankfully. Yeah, he didn't miss a lot, in all honesty, other than 1 goal, I suppose, Chris. If you haven't seen the Burnley goal, which put them at the top of the Championship, do check it out. It's a gift. Oh, we want gifts, don't we? Please give us gifts, not Burnley. Do check out. All right, yeah. Whenever we have the chance to make an impact on the title race, we throw it away. How can we go from performance versus Coventry to what was today is insane to me. I completely agree, Chris. How does that happen? When we beat them at our place, it was without question the easiest 3 points we've got this season. I'm not the most optimistic of fans, but I was confident we'd win today. I don't think I'm ever confident of the Sheffield United team to win away from home, even though we've won so many times this season, because we do throw in there these lackluster performances, and we have had some fantastic moments that have won us games away from home. Vinny was injured, then came back too soon, then he was injured again. Yeah, absolutely right. If we'd have won today, it would have been our 7th away win in a row and a new club record, I believe. If that doesn't get you up for a game, I don't know what does. Credit to Oxford, though. Rowett set them up well, made it compact and ugly. Kiefer wasn't the right sub. It should have been O'Hare. Gets everywhere and also busy, which could have created space. I think you're right at that moment. I think he played well. I think Kiefer Moore played really well, but it was very early to bring Kiefer Moore on. You want someone to run him behind, don't you, still? And he doesn't do that for obvious reasons. When we've played this poorly before this season, we've always managed to find that goal to get us out of jail. I think we all just expected something more today. I think you're right. Jonathan Bruce, Leeds 12:30 record intact. Hopefully it continues. They have 2 12:30 games left. Do you know what? I love that. I absolutely love that. Hey, Nick, hope your journey was okay. We was not clinical. We had the chances but didn't take them. We seem to struggle against teams that sit in a low block, and we need to adapt to other teams rather than have no plan B. Too right. Yeah. Teams that sit in a low block, like I said earlier in the video, us and Leeds really struggle to break them down. Burnley find it slightly easier, but yeah, we like to sort of play on the break. We like to absorb a lot of the pressure and then go at teams. We didn't really get a chance to do that today. It's a KN tonight, people. Poor Nick has made that travel home after the game. Let's all cheer him up with liking the channel before we leave. Share the love and up the Sheff United way. Thank you so much, Chris. That's such a nice thing to say. I'm very hot in here because I've got a very hot heater on. It's been a long one for Nick traveling home after that performance. Make sure you give the channel and the stream a like before we leave. Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that, mate. 6 games left. Still think we can do it. It's not always smiles on the journey, but we will. But they will be at the end. I hope you're right, mate. Bitterly disappointed performance today. Thank you very much, Simon, for doing the watch along with Noah. You were both absolute. Well, I haven't seen it. I'm not going to lie, but I'm sure you were both absolutely brilliant. I've seen you both at work before, and you certainly are doing very, very well for the channel. Poor performance today. We only had 2 good performances this season, Borough and Coventry. So we are lucky we're second. So if it's autos or P. How was coming the Oxford goalie free transfer from Chelsea? I was going to say, he was good. He was really good. He did everything that he needed to do. He saved shots that were at him, and he saved them well. That's all I can really say. Chin up, Nick. Wednesday lost, so we got something to smile about. We are second. Shame we didn't make top spot. Yeah, I agree. To be perfectly honest, I walked out and I looked at the championship scores. I don't know what I was expecting to see because I weren't really thinking about Wednesday. I was more thinking about obviously us going for promotion. I'm thinking I've already seen what the other 2 teams have done. Why am I even looking? And then I saw that Hull had scored against Wednesday really late on. Bullet header as well, by the way. I saw it on train home. Great header. And yeah, that must have been agonizing for Wednesday. The watch along was great. It's how I followed the first half because my stream failed me. Oh, good, Chris. I'm glad that really helps you out. Roll practically admitted he's off. Yeah, he did look like that. He said something about the players. I'd love to see Ben Diaz on the left at least once with Harmer in the 8 just for 1 game this season. I'm absolutely with you. Get Jez on the right, get Brereton Diaz on the left, and get Harmer through the middle with Tyrese Campbell in front of him. That's what I want to see. If Callum O'Hare's not playing there, put Harmer there. I don't mind Harmer being on the wing if Callum O'Hare's playing, but Callum O'Hare's gone from playing every game, like when lots of fans weren't thinking he was playing too well, playing every game to not playing at all, not getting a start. And that's obviously because Ryan Brewster scored a couple of goals. But we need to change it up. We can't play Brewster there every single week. If I'm being completely honest, and I wasn't going to say this on the stream, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is how I feel. And I know that he's not scored today and he's scored in the last couple. I do not think Ryan Brewster is an attacking mid. He's not a number 10 for me at all. I don't think his link-up play is good enough to be a 10. And a lot of people may disagree with me, but that's not Ryan Brewster's. That's not what Ryan Brewster's best at. I honestly don't know what Ryan Brewster's best position is. I don't know where we should play him. I don't know why he's suddenly not a striker anymore. I know we've got a lot of strikers, but it almost feels like we're trying to force him into this side. And I don't mind Ryan Brewster playing in that number 10 every now and then. Just doesn't have to be every single game. Bring him off the bench one time. Callum O'Hare was doing absolutely fine before, and now he's not getting a game. And like Just United said earlier on, get Harmer in that number 8 or that number 10. I want to see Harmer more central. I really do. But yeah, that's kind of me getting that off my chest. Kelly Morris, Nick, are you going Tuesday night or are you doing a watch along? I go to every home game, so I will be there on the South Stand as always. I don't believe there's a watch along because it's normally Chad that does the watch alongs. He'll probably tell me in a couple of days if he wants to do it or not. But it just depends because obviously he's in America. So it depends what time it is for him over there, whether he's able to do that or not. But no, I'll be at the game, obviously hoping for us to get a bit of a bounce back from that because today that was not good enough. That was not good enough in the slightest. We should have taken that game to Oxford from the first minute, got a goal early on and just kept going and kept going and kept going. That's what we need to do. Like, I don't mind us holding on to the game with 10, 15 minutes to go, but yeah, it wasn't good enough today, in all honesty. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll quickly just pop Just United's on screen. Brewster does not fit this system. We are using a system built for wingers, but don't use wingers. I don't get it. In January, we should have got 2 proper in and out wingers, but we spent 10 million on Cannon. Who's gone from playing every game to scoring to playing 10, 15 minutes a game, his confidence will be shot. Completely agree. The word for tonight is bounce back ability. Not from tonight. Hopefully from Tuesday night, we're going to be using the word bounce back ability. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We need that bounce back. We need that bounce back so much on Tuesday night just to put the pressure back on Burnley and put the pressure on Leeds too, because they're going to have to go to the Riverside and get something. And you know what? I would love it. I would love it if Middlesbrough beat them. Cheers. See you later.
Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole.